All right, welcome to show number two. I'm. I think back to I can't even remember one day that you and I were both in the library in China. I kind of came up to you and I introduced myself and said your name was Dmitry, and we were in similar lines of work. So uh, I don't know. It's pretty amazing how all this bloomed from just sitting down and talking in the library and going through different sort of things that you were doing and things that I were doing, and then what um what turned into a nice partnership and a nice friendship. And so if you don't know, me and Dimitri have been building websites together, working in web development, and our partnership, I guess, started in China, and you're in Lithuania now. So, I guess, how did you sort of get into to all of this?
So, yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy time, and it was a great coincidence that we met in China, and surprisingly, we both back then in library, we both were doing web development. I was freelancing myself, and I saw you were developing your Shopify store, which also felt like, well, I would say at least unusual because we're in China where there is not that many, foreigners, and here we are, two guys doing almost the same thing. So it was kind of we were destined to meet, I would say. So the way I got into freelancing, and actually that was basically my first year when I started doing freelancing. Um, I got to China as my study abroad program. So my college was located here in Eastern Europe, in Lithuania. So I decided, why not go to China? Um, but then, it was kind of difficult there to figure out how to earn an income in something, because it is pretty unusual to get a job in China, especially for foreigner. I mean, you can do some stuff like white monkey stuff, or what. Basically, that's a model job. That's a model job that Chinese people would pay foreigners for, let's say, modeling for some products, or they're selling for some services. Well, basically, they just pay you for the fact that you're a foreigner, so you're you can advertise their products by photography, video, and stuff like that. But that's definitely not something that I was like willing to get into by no means. And I figured it would be good to start, web design, because the threshold, the entry threshold is pretty low. You can easily get into this if you have some at least basic understanding of computer skills. Um, I mean, I spent about 3 months experimenting, doing courses on Udemy and learning on YouTube, and then just start doing it. Created and the funny thing is that my very first website was the agency website. So I think you just have to be bold and not be afraid of just doing things. Just turn off the perfectionist and try, just get into it. Get your hands dirty. And
So, what would you say about your sort of, I guess, trajectory in the industry? Where from when you started to now, what's happened in that time?
it's been a crazy time for me, especially for the fact that once things start picking up, and I did not expect. One thing I like about freelancing is the fact that you can get comparatively. I mean, you can get success pretty quickly. In my first year of freelancing, the year we met, at that time I was working as some sort of virtual assistant. I had some experience from dropshipping with the Shopify platform, which is like an e-commerce platform for folks who don't know. It's an e-commerce platform that allows you to it's a content management system created specifically for e-commerce. So all the drop shipping stores, all like many famous brands selling stuff, they use drop shipping as their main platform. So I was playing around with it for a while, and I figured that, this is the only skill I have for now that I'm confident that I can provide value for companies. So my very first job was for $6 per hour. Um, it wasn't a great experience because I think nowhere in the world $6 per hour is a great salary. But for me as a sophomore student, it was something that I was actually excited about, especially the fact that I learned something new and I was getting real business experience, real life experience. So, but then when you start, digging into something deeper, when you start experimenting, learning more skills, applying for more jobs, obviously your learning curve increases, your salary increases, and you just have to be, I would say, you just have to be confident enough to raise it yourself. Because if you're not gonna raise the bar, nobody is going to raise it for you, because all the employers, all the clients, it's in their best interest to keep you working for them at the lowest rate. But for me, it worked out perfectly great. I mean, in my first year, I went from $6 per hour to $35 per hour, and I mean, it was great.
Yeah, no, I think I think you're a little bit humble in that, just how, when we get reviews and when we get, people sort of talking about, I guess, your skills as a developer, it's I've yet to see anyone say that your work is anything less than being an expert. I mean, you even have the expert status on the freelancing site and everything. So it's a pretty amazing, from where you started to what you're doing now and how we're able to work together and everything. Um, something that's sort of, I guess, in the middle of this coronavirus, you're not going anywhere right now, but I know that it was nothing for us to pick up while you were in Greece or while you're in Lithuania, while you're in Moldova, while you're in China, for us to keep working. So I guess kind of speak on that ability to work from anywhere.
Well, and this is one of the things that I love most about freelancing, and don't get me wrong, there is downsides of freelancing as well. It is very hard to get discipline. Sometimes things don't work out well, and I mean, freelancing is some sort of business. It's just you're selling your time, you're selling your services as a um, it's some sort of middle ground between entrepreneurship and a regular job. And of course, you can go both way. You can be like work full time, work like on some hourly rate, or you can be like you can take as many projects as you like, as long as you can deliver. So, and you obviously can bring you more money on the table. But again, I mean, if you will start freelancing, for the listeners, you will probably have to experiment, do as many jobs as possible, just to find where you stand comfortably, and go from there. Uh, I've and one of the facts that I love most about freelancing is, as you mentioned, is the ability to travel. I mean, in my first year, I went crazy about that. After coming back from China, where we met, I went to England, I went to Bali, I went to Thailand, I went to Spain, Greece, about 6 countries in a single year. Of course, spend a lot of money, but what I figured for myself is that spending money is worth getting experience, and getting new experience motivates you to move forward. You just climb up, because it's just for me, but I figured the more I spend, the more I have the desire to earn more. So it's not only about doing the job you like, or about like providing value to the client. If you want to become successful financially, you also have to consider the fact that you need to raise the bar. You also always need to ask for more, and you always need to find ways to provide value so that the client can realistically pay you more. And not talking about undeserved pay, I'm talking about something that you can really level up your game, and get a better pay.
So we've both seen in the middle of all this that, you know, a lot of people are home and they're looking to sort of start that new venture. What would you say to someone saying, hey, you know, maybe I'm not so certain about my job, or maybe I'm super certain, but I could consider having, you know, maybe at first a little bit of money to with a, I guess, a side business or a side income. What would you tell someone that's, you know, that would hear this and say, that's something I would possibly look into? Where would they start?
Well, I think one of the most important things is self-awareness, and you really have to you really have to think about what kind of jobs would you be comfortable doing for, let's say, 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day straight in a row, you know, and not get bored, not fall asleep, or not just get pissed by doing this job. And this is very important because sometimes people talk from point of view of necessity. You know, you just need money and you're like desperately look for different ways to earn an income, you know. But when talking about freelancing, of course, you can find some ways of doing that, but probably you will not get as high as you could possibly get when doing something you love, because there's so many skills related to creativity, related to art, related to same development, and if the job you're doing is really resonates with who you are, with what you're willing to do in life, or what you're willing to become, it will help you get high up that career ladder. So, and I would definitely recommend looking into something like creative. I mean, you can be a video editor, you can be graphic designer, you can go into app development, you can go into marketing, which is, I mean, and my honest advice would be looking into. Well, I know for certain there will always be money in marketing, and there will always be money in IT, because you know, it's just a circle. Money always brings back more money. So if you're willing to earn high, you should probably look into like digital advertising, SEO, pay-per-click advertising, Facebook ads, or do some development jobs, because all companies are constantly improving, and there is way more and more developers every single year, and I mean, the pie is not shrinking; it's getting even bigger. So, and as of how to start, well, I would say the best place to start is, I mean, I personally learned on Udemy. Udemy.com is a platform that's, and I know there is more like Skillshare.com, and there is courses on YouTube. But for yourself, you have to make a decision. You have to choose the path of what you would like to learn, what you would be realistically willing to spend, to invest a few months of your life into something with no return on investment, just out of your own interest. And when you're ready to invest that time and maybe some money to purchase the course, or just you know, just to invest yourself into something without expecting a return, then yeah, the best place I would suggest is just try to look for different courses on Udemy. I did that. I purchased, I mean, I have multiple accounts, because every once in a while they have, you know, these 12.99 sales, and I maybe have 6 or 7 accounts. But yeah, I mean, you never know. You should experiment. You should experiment. Try as many things as possible. Once you've taken a course, try to stick to it. Do not quit, even if it seems boring at first. Because I mean, the learning process itself is boring. You just have to try to be patient. Try to be disciplined, and learn any skill. And I can assure you that once you start picking up, once you start getting real results, something that you've created yourself from nothing, I can assure you, man, it's gonna get interesting.
So, and you don't have to go too deeply into this. You know, I know you and I being partners, we're definitely in a season of growth and expansion. But for you personally, what do you think these next sort of, I guess, what's next for you? What are you looking to do next as far as growing by yourself?
Um, there is so many things, so many interesting and exciting things you could do. And I mean, I'm talking not about just self-development, I'm talking about business-wise. Uh, Me personally, I'm excited about affiliate marketing because, um, well, I think once you have just a smart business model is that once you have a full-time income, something that can bring you food on the table, you should start thinking about long-term income and about something passive. When we're talking about passive income, it's obviously what comes to my mind first is real estate. But to go into real estate, you should probably have some investments. You should probably have some savings. Well, at least 100, 200K. Uh, but what brings better returns on investment? Well, the only thing that comes to my mind is either like blogging or affiliate marketing.
Explain affiliate marketing.
Well, affiliate marketing is a system that allows businesses to build a network of affiliate partners. Let's say you're using Spotify or you're using some services and you really enjoy them. So what you do is you just share it with your friends. Say, okay, so just share the link, and once someone subscribes to that link or clicks to that, or you just give someone a recommendation to an Amazon product, and they purchase or sign up through that link, you get a commission. So and that's a really interesting way of earning income because. Just you can you can document your life, you can document or you can shoot videos or write blog posts about something valuable, about like how to blogs or just something solely informative, and embed those links uh, in the context. And if your content is interesting enough, if your content is exciting for people to read, then you will earn some decent amount of money. And and this is interesting because it feels like a snowball. Today you have 100 followers, you haven't earned that much. Next month or the like a few months after, you have 1,000, and it starts picking up, and then it always grows as long as you keep working on your content. And what's also exciting is that the fact that again it's creative work. And guys, if you compare all the uh, I mean, if you compare creative jobs to something regular, you will see that like the folks who work for themselves, those entrepreneurs who, uh, let's say, some Instagram influencers or YouTubers or just guys, simple guys and girls who have blogs. Uh, I mean, some of them do a monthly breakdown, or they can even share the incomes they're getting from their blogs or from their channels. This is a crazy amount of money. If you're doing your thing well, and it's not even a job. You just write a couple of articles a week or just shoot a video a week, and it can bring you some real good money. So uh, that's kind of what I'm looking to get into. A part of obviously developing, building like web design agency, improving skills and so forth.
Well, I would say that working with you for this, I guess, year and some change, or maybe year, and I'm not sure. Are we going on 2 years? I'm not sure yet.
The
Some
second year started, yeah, we met a year ago, and like it's been almost a year since we started the agency. Yeah.
yeah. So just working with you, it's been an honor. You're very professional in how we go about business, and so I always appreciate that. I know that we'll continue to grow together, and so I'm honored to have you on the second show today. And
I'm honored.
if you want to find out more, you can find us upgradehut.com. And I don't know if you have anything that you'd like to, I guess, plug in here right now. Um,
I mean, I would like to encourage people to. I mean, right now, the I would say the time stopped for many people. Many people are on hold have their life put on hold. Not much is going on. Not many people lost their jobs or they cannot go to jobs anymore because of the currency and stuff. So guys, right now is the best time to learn. Right now is the best time just to start pursuing something that you've been willing to pursue for a long time but never got a chance to. So please discipline yourself, like get yourself together and start pushing forward.
Get yourself together and start pushing forward. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dmitry, we'll talk after this, and I appreciate you coming on here.
My pleasure. All
Yeah.
right.
Talk to you.